One of the challenges for climate is that it's hard to see victims of climate. Polar bears, glaciers are remote and far away from most people. It's not like your friend who's gay, who's in the closet, or a woman who can't vote, or an African American person you like, right? It doesn't have the human face that is the victim of climate. But I guess you're saying that every person under a certain age is the victim.
Well, I mean, I think, it's a form of generational oppression, and so that's always relative. So everyone who's now living is facing some negative impacts because of those who have come before us, and all of us are reaping great privilege at the expense of those who will come after us. But part of the reason that there's not a better face on climate change is just the failure of our public leaders to do a better job of connecting the dots. That one of the greatest humanitarian crises on the planet right now is happening from the refugees streaming out of Syria and the terrorist groups like ISIS that have formed out of that situation, which was a civil war that was largely triggered by a climate-induced drought, according to the CIA. They list that as the major factor that set off that situation. So when we look at the movements that are really capturing a lot of public attention right now, like Black Lives Matter, I think they've done a better job of connecting the dots so that when a young black kid gets shot by the cops, it's the bullet that kills the kid. And yet our public has been able to connect the dots enough to say that, that's not just the bullet that kills the kid. This isn't just an issue about guns, and this isn't just an issue about crime because police are involved, but this is a more structural systemic issue about white supremacy that pervades our whole society. That actually, I think, took a lot of work from a lot of activists trying to connect those dots over years and decades. I don't think it's implicitly any harder to connect the dots between the kid who dies from a bullet in a civil war in Syria to the climate change that triggered that situation. I just think it takes that much effort of public leaders that are willing to tell that story and connect those dots.